Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a bonus full moon tarot oracle reading for the month of January. And Leo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Leo, we still all have a little bit of Leo in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Leo in? That's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. Recognize that this is a collective or general reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. And this is also a timely reading, meaning it is the perfect time when it shows up for you. If it's quite a bit in the future from when it was posted, it might be beneficial for you to look back at what was happening in your life around the time I posted this. It might give you some more information. I've already shuffled. I just wanted to give the cards a quick cut, and we'll begin with the underlying energy. So this is being left out in the cold. So Leo, this is a different energy, but this has been coming up in this full moon energy reading. So this card of the Five of Pentacles represents that feeling like you're left out in the cold, like you don't belong, like you're not part of the greater whole. And this energy also can represent, like there's 10 pentacles in the tarot deck itself. And so 10 pentacles is the most you can have. So you're at the halfway point, and sometimes this can represent energy of only having half of what you should have kind of energy. This card is also my tactics card. We have two people. One is like on crutches and the other one is barefoot in the snow. So clearly they've seen better times. Quite often this energy represents tactics, and these are like all the snowflakes falling. You know, anyone can handle a flake or two, but when they pile up on you, then it can collapse your house. And I'm from Canada, so I know about snow. And that's the energy kind of that's here right now. Having said that, I'm also picking up a lot of energy because the full moon is in Cancer. And that energy is very, like, think about the crab that represents Cancer energy. And the crab carries its home on its back because it likes to be home. And so this, a lot of people are maybe feeling a little bit like the energy of the full moon we'll start noticing it about 3 days before and 3 days after, basically. And it's on January 3rd. So we're about, we're getting close to the new year, and there's a lot of energy. Like we're almost at the end of 2025. 2025 is 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. So this is a 9-year. It represents the end of a cycle. And it's actually like the end of a decade cycle. So if you think back, okay, what was I doing in 2015, 16? That it might have something to do with that. And also moving into 2026, 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. This is the energy breaks down to a 1. So we are starting an entirely new cycle with the new year. And a lot of people are feeling this energy also, like kind of having energy, 1 foot in one world and 1 foot in the other kind of energy. So this lot is coming up for a lot of people, and because there's other energy here. On around the 22nd, I believe it is, of December, we move from Sagittarius energy into Capricorn energy. So that's the energy that is dominating here right now. And Capricorn is right across the astrological wheel from Cancer. So, the planets Mars, which is an aggressive planet, Venus, which is about love, and the sun, which shines light on that and is opposing the energy of the moon. So the Capricorn energy is the most ambitious, and it's about Earth, it's about Pentacles. And, Capricorn energy wants, hey, let's go climb a mountain. Let's go build something. Let's start a business. And Cancer energy is saying, I just want to crawl under the blankets. We've been out every night. I just want to be home. I want my comfort food. I want to read a book. that kind of energy. And so a lot of people are maybe feeling, we're halfway through the holiday season, and maybe you're tired of going out and you just need some time for yourself. So that's the underlying energy of this reading, and actually of quite a few of the readings so far around in the last week or two. Justice. Okay, having said that, this can also mean that some tactics were taken that caused you to be out in the cold and lose half your money or half your abundance. So pentacles are not just about money, they're about health, wealth, happiness, and these people have clearly seen better times, but they've decided to collaborate with each other and put their energy together to be able to keep moving forward. They could go into the church and get respite, but they're going to keep going, and they're going to do their best to empower each other to move forward in a strong way. And then the Justice here, this card's coming up a lot also. So there's a lot of things in the world right now in the news that we'll see. And, what happens above happens below. So that goes from the spiritual realm down to the physical realm, but it also comes from the authority figures, running countries, etc. Big, big energy, all the way down to how we run our own homes, how we run our own lives. And how we run our own homes and how we run our own lives also has an effect on the upper. So it's that kind of energy. This talks about redemption from karma also. So a lot of karma is being cleared, and that can be from ancestral, not just like, you can have direct karma from your own actions or inactions, but you can also have indirect karma because you're paying the price for what your parents did, or what your grandparents or even your great grandparents did. And so you can even be paying the price for what your descendants did. It just depends. So this energy is about when justice comes in. Justice is really when you get to a point where you're neutral between the extremes here, and you're able to move forward in a strong way. And so it's about if you can get neutral to the fear around all the extremes, like not wanting to go out kind of energy, and then wanting to go out, like that push and pull. This energy is, then you're neutral to anything in between. And you can take what's in the spiritual realm and also what's on the earth and handle it. So I'm really getting a lot of energy too, with this full moon coming in, that it's kind of saying a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm a human being with a soul, but you're actually a soul that's traveling in a human body, and your soul has requirements also, and your soul needs to be looked after as much as your physical body needs to be looked after. Otherwise, your physical body will pay the price. So here we have the energy of the Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, what's happened here, we have 6 pentacles here and 1 on the ground here. And so this is saying, hey, I put all this work into this. I put all of, because pentacles are not just money, they are coin, because money is one form of energy of abundance in the 3D, but it's also about your time, your energy, how you invest it, who you invest it with. And it's kind of like, man, I put all this energy in and this is what I got out of it. Like, what happened? Where is the other 5 pentacles here? That kind of energy. That's exactly what it's saying. So someone, you're feeling like, hey, where's my money? There should be more from all the effort I put in here. There should be, I have 1 pentacle and 5 of them are missing. You see that energy? It hasn't ever come up quite like that before in this order, in any of my readings, I don't think. Then we have the Empress coming in. So the Empress, when she's in her upright position, is all 4 queens with all of the qualities rolled into one person. And she is like the generator of energy. Like she, she'll plant seeds, and like the wheat here represents the seeds that she's planted. And she counts on nature to look after, like the natural order of things. She understands how energy works, that the nature really likes order. So like when you're growing wheat, I mean, you could irrigate your land, but people don't do that when they're growing wheat. And so it's kind of more about having to rely on nature. Like if you get a frost right as the kernels are starting to form or mature, it can really reduce the quality. And there's nothing you can do about the weather, really. You know, as a person on this earth, there's some talk about weather patterns changing and all of that. We don't really know what is all causing that. So it's kind of like you have to rely on nature, like for the rain and for the sun and for like, you know, for it not to freeze, you know, at the wrong time, getting the crop off. Like you can plant a crop and it looks really beautiful and a day later it doesn't, kind of energy. And so this is the energy of the Empress taking all the qualities of all four queens and rolling them into one, like being able to handle her emotions if things don't go quite right, knowing, hey, this is nature. Nature counts differently than we do. Nature counts 1 + 1 = 2, and then 2 reaches back into the past for 1, and then moves forward. And we have 3, and then 3 reaches back into the past for 2, and we move forward, and we have 5. And this is because nature and knows that life is not a march. It's not always forward movement. Sometimes it's a dance. So sometimes you're going to step backwards. Sometimes you're going to go sideways. That's what dancing does. So the queen is a highly respected individual that has all these qualities of, you know, she's intelligent, she's creative, she is good at manifesting, she's good with money, she's, you know, someone that you can rely on, and she's pregnant with possibility. So the energy is also saying that someone could be pregnant. That's kind of the pregnancy card of the tarot. And we have the Emperor coming in. So we have the Empress and the Emperor. They don't, especially in a spread that's of this size, we don't usually see them come out like this, right together like this. So the emperor, like the Empress, has all the qualities of all the kings rolled into one. The Emperor is all about performance, and when these two come together, the Empress energy is like a magnet. She attracts energy, you know, to her, like bees to pollen kind of energy. And the Emperor is the one that brings it into reality. So this could be like a CEO of a company, like at the top of the field, whatever they're doing, and very intelligent, wise. He's got his armor on underneath his cloak, so he's ready for action at any moment. And you notice, like when the two of them together, she's sitting back because she knows that this masculine energy is going to take care of things. And he knows that this feminine energy is going to take care of things because they're the Emperor and the Empress, and that's what they do. That's the kind of energy. Really, really, when these two get together, sparks fly and shift happens. There's a lot of energy here. So this is like about leadership, and Leo energy is all about leadership. However, Leo energy is at the stage of life is more like teenage boys. And so if you think about teenage boys, you know, they can be very impulsive. And, you know, our brains don't mature until, like, they used to say 21. Now they're saying it's more like 24 or 25. So the frontal lobe that controls the emotions isn't programmed 100% yet to be able to have total control over the emotions like the Emperor does. So it's about life experience, but Leo energy is the energy that's born to lead, and it is ruled by the sun. So the energy is that energy is the Cancer energy. That full moon that we have in Cancer is across the wheel from Capricorn. And so this is the opposing energy. And the sun and Mars, which is also another aggressive planet, the sun is shining light on what's happening in the world. The Mars is aggressive about how they handle it, and the Empress is ruled by Venus. So the Empress is in a position where it's about love, right? And this is the energy all sitting across the wheel from the moon, and the moon is Cancer energy, and they're like facing each other in opposite positions. So there's going to be a lot of this kind of emotional energy because Cancer is ruled by the moon. And so people that are water signs are really going to be feeling this energy, but people who are fire signs will also be feeling it because of the Mars, the aggression of that Mars energy. And the energy is also, you know, think about adding water to fire. What happens? It either sizzles out or it creates steam, one or the other, right? And then we have, okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is kind of the energy that look at how the Empress is almost dressed like this. Like this is someone that has 9 pentacles out of the 10 that you can get. And they're wondering what happened because there's 5 pentacles missing here. And you see this? She has her hand on 6 pentacles here. This is, if you've heard of Nikola Tesla talks about the beauty of the 369, and if you understand that ratio, that you will have the key to the universe. So this energy, this is someone that realizes. Then we're talking a lot about a lot of money here, and it's generational wealth. And this energy is, she always has her hand on 6 of the pentacles, because she knows she has to keep feeding herself to be able to invest the other 3 pentacles to get to the 10th pentacle. And so this is like, okay, I was getting to the 10th pentacle. I was about to become the Empress here. What happened? Because now I'm missing 5 pentacles. Where did those pentacles go? And so maybe she's called in the Emperor and said, hey, what's going on here, Emperor? You know, go and look into this. So this is the ratio, the 369. If you give too much of yourself away, you won't have enough to give to others. You'll run out. If you, and this is talking, the pentacles do represent money, but they also represent, time is money. So it represents your time, your energy, how you invest. Are you investing in yourself first so that you can invest in others and in projects that, you know, give to charity, that kind of energy. But definitely the Empress and the Emperor are, now the Emperor might be saying, hey, Empress, you had your hand on this 6 pentacles. What happened to 5 of them? So they could be arguing with each other. It could be that kind of energy. Let's see. And recognize this is the internal boundaries. This is what you have control over, right? So you have control over this energy of how much you give and how much you take, and who you give to and who you pay and who you don't pay, you know, that kind of energy. And how are you investing your time and energy, and how are you investing in yourself? I can think of several things that are happening right now in the news that I'm not going to bring it up because we could go on and on, but that energy is coming up, like people that are in relationships, and like people that are like public figures that are really well known, and all of a sudden we're seeing all the cracks in their relationships, and they were Empress and Emperor together, but this energy is coming in. You know, there's several relationships online, and then look at that backstabbing energy is coming in. And so this energy, and look at, we want justice for this energy, and this is the 10 of Swords, stabbed in the back and left for unalive, and laying there on the ground, you know, staring off into the horizon there. What happened, right? Is the sun rising? Is the sun setting? But this energy on the 21st of December, and this is a week ago, at the solstice, that's the energy of the longest night of the year and the shortest day. And now, a week in, the days are actually, we might not notice it so much now, but the days are actually getting longer and the nights are shorter. So the light is coming in to shed light on what's happening in the planet towards the end of the year here. And look at, we have the 10 here, and this 10, and this is the 9. So I feel like this is like whatever happened, and it could be that whole decade cycle. So think about what you were doing in 2015, 2016, you know, that kind of energy. What was going on at the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2016. This energy, whatever the backstabbing was, This person, yes, it's a horrible position to be in, but their hand is in the form of a blessing. So this is like Hierophant energy. The Hierophant is justice on from above and below. And this energy is talking about this could have been a blessing in disguise. And it's being corrected now in 2026. 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. That's a 1 year. And 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. It's the end of a cycle. So we're starting a whole new cycle. And you can see it, like, so all of this energy is coming down, like and it's kind of like snowflakes. I don't know if people realize, but snowflakes, they all, every single one is different, but what they have in common is they're all hexagons. So it's kind of like we all have something in common, and we can all handle a flake or two. But when a bunch of, if there's 10 different people or 10 different organizations or 10 different groups that have piled up on one energy like this, that is going to come to light, and that's what this is talking about, and it's very clear. It's there's like 5 of these pentacles are missing. Where are they? That's what we want to know. And then we have the King of Pentacles here. So the King of Pentacles is sitting on their throne, and they are generally someone that's really highly respected, and they have generally they work in like the banking industry. They might be a CEO of a company. They could be like in a position in government where they control the money, like they make the audit and all of that kind of energy. The chief financial advisor of the government kind of energy. And this energy is highly respected in their upright position, but if this is something that was, and this King of Pentacles has been coming up. So this could be someone that was hired to do accounting. It could be, but generally the King of Pentacles is someone, it's representing generational wealth. So it's representing old money, like big money. Like this isn't just a little bit of money. So when we're talking half of it gone missing, it's not like a small amount of money that's gone missing. And so that's why now it's being noticed, right? So justice is coming in regarding this. And looking at this, okay, so this is your energy, Leo. This is how you're looking at like, where's my money? And then the abundance and self-worth, you feel like you're the Empress and there should have been way more here. And you feel like, where is it? You want to know, where is it? And then this is about your communication in early life. So this is, you've been raised in a family, I'm getting, that's educated. It might be a family business. It could be an inheritance. It could be like, you could actually be like a royal, like, someone that's actually raised by people who actually run countries, that kind of energy. Like someone in a high position, someone that, your parents could be people that own the company, and it's a large corporation, or they run a country, and you're their descendants, that kind of energy. So this is about your emotional foundation. So this is speaking about someone who understands the value of money, and that's this generational wealth legacy. Like people, there's a big difference between old money and new money. A lot of times people with old money, you can't tell that they have that money. They don't flash it around. Like people who have new money have a tendency to have designer clothes with the brands on, and like drive the real fancy cars, whereas some of the people with the most money from old money are very conservative about how they appear, and they're generally like, they understand the value of of what a dollar can do, and they also understand the responsibility that's tied to it. But in between that, we have this energy, and this is about creativity. And if it's creativity to cause this, it could be a major problem here. And this also is in the position of your romance and your children. So this energy could be like family business or something, and maybe your children have done, are adults, and they were running the company, And now there's money missing, like there's an energy like that. Maybe they didn't know what they were doing so well or whatever. Or your ancestors, just take it how it goes. Like if you're in this position where, hey, like, and sometimes then, especially if it's like government money or something, then everybody needs to know where did it go. There's going to be an audit, that kind of energy. So let's see. This position here, yeah, so that, and then this is about your health, your daily routine, and your habits. So this is saying that maybe someone is flashing more money around than they should be, and they have more shift, and it's like, where are they getting all the, like, where is this all coming from? The numbers don't add up, that kind of energy. And then we have the Knight of Cups coming in. So the Knight of Cups is a communication. So this is the first communication we have coming in. And this is coming in, like this energy here is your internal forces. So you might not be able to have any, control other people. You can't. Having said that, you can control your emotions. You can look into yourself. You can, hire the right people, use your intuition to hire the right people and get to the bottom of this so you can get your money back and get justice. And so this energy is the external forces. That's what's happening from outside that you don't have control over. And so this is like, when you can tell the difference, because when you're laying in bed and you're saying, hey, what if this happens? What if I do that? Then will this happen? If I do this, will that happen? What if? And that's internal forces. The external forces are what the EF happened. Where is this money? What happened to it? Like it wasn't me. I don't know where it went. I want to find out, that kind of energy. And the Knight of Cups comes in with communication. So the Knights would work for the king and queen in the court. And they would start usually as a page, and then when they were 21, they could be promoted to knighthood, as long as they could afford a horse, kind of energy. And this energy nowadays, of course, this is true of all of these figures. These are archetypes. So the Empress could actually be a male in his feminine energy, and the Emperor could be female in their masculine energy. And we also have the Knight could be a female in their masculine energy. But this, quite often, this is like the knight in shining armor kind of energy. This is someone that, you read about in romance novels, in the movies, that kind of energy. Well-dressed, really well put together, well-educated, the perfect catch, like a real good match, that kind of energy. And so, and you can see that they're all put together, and they are coming in with a cup of love. Now, generally, when the Knight shows up of Cups, it's talking about someone that has, romance on their mind, and they're offering like a cup of romantic love. But sometimes it could just be regarding like a business that you love, some communication about what you love to do, what you love to be, who you love to be with, how you love your family, that kind of energy. So this energy, this is a communication coming in. And of course, in the old days, the communication would be like by horse, and they would have to, ride to the next community or the next kingdom or the next country even, and then deliver the message and then come back with the answer, and they would be riding it back again in the old days, right? So now we have all forms of communication, and in an instant we can get communication. So this is talking about, like, it could be a text, a phone call, a social media post. It could be a letter in the mail, all sorts of different forms of communication. And the communication is coming in about the Pentacles. Okay, so there's been some information that the Knight of Cups knows, and they're coming in with this information. Now, are they giving this information to the King of Pentacles, or is this information going to the Emperor and the Empress? That's what we need to, figure out here. because this is in between these two figures that know how to deal with money, but didn't maybe necessarily deal with it for the Empress and the Emperor in the way that they should have. This is Page of Pentacles coming in with communication. So the Page of Pentacles is coming in, and there's a message regarding this lost money coming in. And it's going to bring justice. And it's most likely that the Emperor and the Empress are the ones that are going to bring this justice in. Because when they're together like this, this is pure authority. Whereas this is maybe someone that they've hired to handle this money, and it was mishandled. That's the energy that's coming in. And then we have, okay, the Four of Pentacles represents, it can represent, like, this is about making money again. This is actually about the coin, because this talks about 3 levels of making money. So there's playing it safe and not taking risks with it, going after your heart's desires, and then going for the crown and glory, right? So this energy is talking about someone who turned their back on the city. Like, it's very rare that you're going to be a hero in your own town. And this is someone that went after their heart's desires, and maybe it was a large group of people that did. This is talking about a strong foundation for success, and don't sell yourself short. But if it's sitting here with these two across the wheel like this could be that they that's where they're short their money, and it's at least 4 pentacles. It's at least 4. So, and it's their crown and glory, not this energy's crown and glory. Whoa. So I don't, the cup of love coming in, like, could it be like these two, it could have one of the other has gone, done something with the money, and the other partner doesn't know about it, because there's 2, right? So that's really like shifty energy, man. So this is a good time to go inward with the Cancer moon, really. It's a really good time to go inward and go up to the top of the mountain. That's what the hermit does. Communes with God, prays, meditates, and then when the lantern is full of enlightenment, and when you think about it, the moon energy, the sun is shining light on the moon, and so and it's a full moon. So the full moon is when you release what is not like what is hidden, and the illusions, you release them. And so this energy represents the sun going to speak to God at the top of the mountain. And then you notice, like, his shaft here, this is now bright yellow, like golden. It's golden, like the light here. So it represents, okay, I know what to do about this. I know what happened to this money. And this has maybe come in. And somebody sold these 2 short, is the energy I'm getting. But it could have been someone, and it could have been one of their descendants, or their ancestors. It could be the in-laws of descendants, that kind of energy. Like one of their children married someone and they are involved, that kind of energy. I feel like it's someone in the family, and that's the energy, or it's someone in the company, or someone in the government. You know what I mean? That kind of energy. Like, that's the kind of energy we're dealing with on the planet right now, and it's because of all of this. So what this is saying, the hermit goes, and when they have the proper information, then they take action. And like the emperor and the empress, they have to, like, especially the emperor has to remain very neutral to his emotions and get to the bottom of things, because that's his job, to make sure he does. Make sure that we do an audit and we know exactly what happened here. And that's that energy of staying home, Oh, and then the Ace of Swords comes in after going up to the mountain to talk to God. God comes in and says, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth is what you're going to get now. This is that you have the information that you need to recover this half money that went missing. Whoa. And there we go. You were carrying burdens that were not yours. And look at, it's a 10 here and a 10 here, and they're right across the wheel from each other. Wow. So this card represents someone who is almost there, and they've put a lot of work in, and they were expecting a certain return, and then it didn't come in. And they've been carrying the burdens of other people. And this represents external forces that you've had to carry. All of these wands represent actions that people took. And look at, it's right across from this. And look at the action that they took, stabbed in the back energy. Oh. Wow. So this energy is like, there's justice. There's going to be justice in 2026 regarding this. This is real heavy energy because it's like you can't see the trees for the forest kind of energy, or the forest for the trees, but you're almost home. So it's this energy, this whatever happened here is almost over. But I feel like it's more than just about the coin. Like this is health, wealth, happiness. This is, you know, abundance. And if it's someone that is within your inner circle that was involved in this, then it could be someone that was a partner of yours, or, you know, there's so many scenarios that this could be. But, you know, just now is a really good time to go inward. Like if you feel like, I don't want to, I need to just be home. I need to meditate. I need to figure this out. And I don't want to, like, the thing is, you don't want to be like hanging out with people that did this right now, because the karma is going to hit. And especially if this is karma and it's like coming from a couple generations ago or something, you know, it's going to hit hard. And anyone that's like around that, the people that caused it are going to be included in that karma. So, you know, keep your nose clean kind of energy. And look at, this is talking about not just, okay, this is talking about multitasking and really juggling. And juggling pentacles in this case is what's coming up. So this is someone that has been very busy juggling money. And this card says, juggle your options, but don't juggle your morals. And this, look at the size of the hat on here. Like somebody's ego got the best of them. And they started off, okay, they got away with it once. Then they got away, and the waves just keep, you know what I mean? And now all of a sudden, look how big the ship is. And the thing is, when a ship gets this big and it's sitting on the top of the wave there, and this kind of energy is out there, that's when it, you know, you can't help but notice it, right? And that's why it's kind of like, oh, I feel like this energy is like, this has been going on for quite some time. Got away with it the first time. Okay, let's do it again. And then more and more people were involved in it, and it gained momentum, right? Like, you know, like the waves, like waves do, you know, they come in like a tsunami. That's the kind of energy that's coming up. Wow. And I can think of a couple situations that are in the news right now that, yeah, you know, and it's really wild because it's like very public information, and you're looking at it and you're thinking, how did these people think that other people weren't going to find out that what they were doing? Because like in this day and age, you know, like, wow, you know, like it's, you know, wow, yeah, this is really significant energy. But it's kind of like where we are in the world, and this is good. Like this is when the truth comes out. And Leo energy is being a leader, right? And so Leos were born to lead. They can be, you know, but it's an energy that has to mature. Like you have to have enough life experience if you're going to lead like a country or lead a corporation, or, you know, and people are going to make mistakes. There's no doubt about that. But like, you know, that's the energy of counting like the unit, like that's why that energy, like counting like how the universe and how nature counts. Life isn't just boom, we march forward and we never make mistakes. As a matter of fact, if you are a good leader, you probably are making mistakes because you're pushing yourself, right, to become a good leader. And that's what the emperor, and like this is really it's disturbing, but it's kind of like, especially when you see this, it's like, wow, this is like a lot of energy. So let's see what this is about. If you're enjoying this reading, please do like and comment and give it a, it just really gives my channel a boost. Whoops. Okay, here's the energy. I'm shuffling my oracle cards that I'm going to use to clarify. And what happens is they just jump out. That's just the way my deck is. So I started this in 2007 and I completed it in 2020. And there were 64 paintings. I'm an artist, so I did them, and they were big, giant dragon paintings because it's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light, and the dragons are coming in from the future. And so this energy, like I did all the paintings, and I have a website, the talesfromthevector.com, TAILS, and I have on these cards I'm using the numbers of the paintings listed in the gallery there so that you can see. And I will leave in the description box below, I will put them in the order that they appear here if you're interested in going to take a look at them. And I'm working right now on getting the actual deck out now that I have all the paintings done and they're all like ready to be printed. But I need to work on the information, and the only way to do that properly is to bring it out there. That's why I'm on the internet working with you. I love doing the readings, and this was my plan. When I get the tarot deck done, then I'll work with it a little bit, and then I'll know, I'll be clear on the information, like what the cards really mean. And so the first card that came out is worldly and otherworldly desires. So there we have it. So this is talking about people giving themselves total permission for their authentic desires, but not at the expense of, of others. And so this can also talk about corruption on the spiritual realm. And this, like, as I said, you are not a human being with a soul. You are a soul with a human body. And that's why this cause and effect from our actions comes in, because our souls pay the price. And if our soul doesn't pay the price for what we've done, then our descendants and ascendants, or our descendants and our ancestors do. And so, there's cause and effect for your actions and your inactions, when you should act and when you shouldn't act. And if you don't pay the price, hey, your descendants and your ancestors on the other side will, on the spiritual side. So that's, people don't get that. The universe likes order. God likes order. God's is a very orderly God. And so dissension. So wow, this justice coming in is talking about, with friends like this, who needs enemies, swimming with sharks. I used to have my scuba diving ticket, and when I was living in Australia, I was on the Barrier Reef, and there was a lot of sharks there, and it was kind of scary because I'm from Saskatchewan, so I wasn't used to the ocean, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the risk because I really wanted to learn how to scuba dive and go to the Barrier Reef and do so. And but I have found through life that it's the human sharks that are more dangerous than sharks. You're more likely to get attacked by a human shark than you are by a shark, even when you're swimming in the Barrier Reef. It never happened. And so the indifference here is, if we're in a karmic space, we're all in it together. So this is, we're all progress. So if this is like a lot of money, and it's actual emperor and empress energy, it's people that are in charge of a corporation, say, and government institutions, and that there's employees involved there. And so every move you make is going to involve them and their families. It's a huge responsibility, huge. And so if indifference comes in, then it's not a work in progress anymore. Then it begins like pipe dreams instead. It's the more money you have, and the more responsibility you have on both the spiritual level and also on the physical. And it's that's why sometimes money can feel like if you have it can weigh you down. and it can be like burdensome, like other people's actions, having to carry all that weight. Look how tired that person looks, you know? It's a lot of responsibility. So Sagittarius energy, this is about expansion versus contraction. And this is what the Empress is all about. She's about being able to attract the energy, and then expansion happens, right? Growth happens. Or if it's not in the right position, if it's not done correctly and it contracts, then that energy goes inward instead of expansion. It becomes contraction. And we need both. We need to know when to go inward, and we need when to go outward. And that's what this Cancer full moon is about. It's really powerful. And then we have intentions. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions. This is the thing. Sometimes people have good intentions and it just goes wrong. You know, have you ever had that happen? You know, like you can have really good intentions, but and you thought you were doing things the correct way, and then you find out that your friends were really frenemies, or you know, like the people you hired didn't really know what they were doing. You know, that kind of energy. Then we have the Magician. So this is an energetic upgrade. Like when Nikola Tesla was a genius of all geniuses, and in many ways, maybe not emotionally though. So the energetic upgrade comes from understanding how the universe works, and that it's an orderly universe. Like people think, oh, the world's going, you know, it's all chaotic. It's actually coming, like it might be expanding right now because we just moved into the age of Aquarius, and so we're expanding the way we do things, but eventually it's going to be spinning and it's going to contract for a while. And that's that Cancer energy. Cancer likes to stay home, so much so they carry their home on their back. You know, think about it. So then this is the battle star. And so this energy is talking about having courage. The courage to figure out what happened here, no matter how challenging. And I'm getting, it could be like, whew, it's just like, I just felt like the breath taken out of me. Like, oh gosh, this is really bad. Like, and really having to face some energy, possibly about someone that, you know, was your partner, or, you know, like close, like someone you love, right? There's not really any romantic energies here. Like, you know, the Empress and the Emperor are more like a ruling couple, and the rest of the energy is about pentacles and burdens and trying to figure it out kind of energy, and morals being juggled, that kind of energy. So this is heavy, like on a spiritual level and also on the physical. And so, okay, so we have here, I feel like this can represent that you can anticipate a better future, moving from this energy into this energy. The truth will come out. It's kind of like when you're on the correct path, and you go and you confer with God, and then you take action from there, the burdens will be lifted, both on the spiritual and the physical. And then I can hear your ancestors just cheering, you know, woohoo! Finally, someone, one of our descendants is going to clear this up for us. You know, it's that kind of energy. So dissemination of information. So this is kind of like, you know, every like profession has its own language. Like, you know, accountants talk in a certain way, politicians talk in a certain way, scientists talk in a certain way, like physicists talk, you know, like and so if you don't understand the language they're speaking, then you won't really get the full message. And so there's an elephant in the room, but you can't really see it because you believe in your own press kind of energy. So lots of times, and this is sitting on the energy here, this is about commitment, marriage, and partnerships. So something about this money is coming in this house. And here's the page delivering the message. And it looks like it's someone younger than these two. And they're delivering a message that this energy is like about commitment, marriage, and partnerships. And whatever happened to these pentacles, is being here. And that's why I feel like we have the card that's here. I feel like that's what's going on. So this, there's something that, yeah, is not right there, unfortunately. So that would be like why it would be so burdensome. Like if it's someone that you love and they're going to get in trouble for it if you tell the truth, and all of that kind of energy, and the pride being involved also. So that's the energy. And Leo is all about lions and about pride, and lions, they have like the male lion controls the pride, like that, they have a lot of female lions in one pride, and all the cubs are part of that pride. And you know, with lions, when if there's a rival lion that comes in and they are fighting for control of the pride, they will annihilate the descendants of the other lion if they win, if they win the fight, because they want the bloodline to be clean kind of energy. So it's kind of that energy, like pride might, pride is something that we all have, but it's also having, being proud of your bloodline, and maybe like, oh my goodness, like this is so like embarrassing, or that, it's really negative energy for the whole family. And that's why the ancestors are cheering on the other side and saying, yay, this is finally being cleared up. Eventually the truth does come out. That's the energy. Yeah, it's really challenging energy, right? And then we have mother's worry. Yeah. I just feel like, yeah, because the Empress is a very maternal, loving figure. And so this kind of energy is like, oh, like what if it was someone in one of her children that was involved, and now she has to, you know, she has, like, she has a responsibility to everybody that she employs, or everybody, like if it's someone that runs a country or whatever, if it's actual royalty, you have a responsibility to all of those people that are affected by these decisions, right? So you can't, allow yourself to, you think about Queen Elizabeth, like how she had to put her duty as the queen before everything else, and she was an example of that. Then we have attachment. So this is about a karmic space. Like attachment is the mother of all attachments, because of course we're attached to our children, we're attached to our business, we're attached to our partners. We want them to do really well. But when it comes to the point where what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine kind of energy, that's the energy that's what's coming to light here. And then we have destruction. Oh, okay. So, yeah, the truth is that this was very destructive for for like the whole bloodline, and now it's being cleared. The justice is coming in, the karma is being cleared, and that's what, really, when we come down to this planet, that's what our soul wants, is to be free of any impediments, on the spiritual level. And everything that every thought we have, like any matter on physical earth, begins as a thought, right? So that's why why the soul needs to be also have abundance in health, wealth, and happiness on the spiritual side. And then, yeah, ego's coming in, that's kind of on this energy, causing a lot of burdens. Like, look at this mess. It's going to be a mess, like, and it's going to be embarrassing if it's like on a big level. And I can think of a few situations that are out there on the news right now. And we have to understand, like, that this is, when those things happen, it's not because the world is coming apart. It's more like it's coming back together. The order is being brought back in, and we're starting to see what was going on. Not, so it's like being in the eye of the storm kind of energy, so that you can see things more clearly. And that's that Cancer energy of, hey, I just want to stay home and meditate. And the Chariot, okay? So the Chariot represents, like once this is moving, and it is moving right now, it's in action, we can see it, that it's going to come in, and it's on the, it's on the horizon here. And so this may have been going on for generations. It might have been going on for a decade. You know, it's that kind of energy. So it's just, okay, it's the truth comes out, and the truth will set you free. And this is God's plan, actually. So God is actually a God of order. Very mathematical order. There's order in the universe. There's order in the cells in our body. There's order in nature. Like, it's not disorder, it's order coming. Like, so when we have that expansion, sometimes it looks like it's all out of order, but when it contracts and comes back in, then we have order again. And that's the way we grow, right? So this is really, oh wow, I can feel this. This is a lot of energy. So thank you, Leo, the leader. Thank you for being so brave to bring this up. We really appreciate your wisdom. And we can all learn from this, right? So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please do like and comment if you have. And if you are resonating with the energy of the channel, consider subscribing. It would be an honor for me if you did so. I will be back with another reading for you in mid-month. Bye for now. Oh, sorry to wake you up, little girl. It's okay.